Welcome back again to Joe Stunner Boxing. How you diddling? I hope you're diddling well. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to build the old channel up. It hasn't been going long, but we're slowly but surely getting there. And if you could hit subscribe, that'd be a massive help. Or like, or if you don't like the video, hit dislike. It's fine. I'm not offended, but any support is always appreciated. Okay, so we've got some boxing this weekend, and I'm looking at what's on, and one fight springs out and hits me in the face, gives me a good old slap around the cheek, and that is the fight between Jaime Munguia and Gabe Rosado. Now, where do we start with this one? It's for one of those middleweight, I think it's a WBO trinket, intercontinental thing, whatever. I'm not interested in that, but the fight itself is very good. Because you've got the young gun, 25-year-old Munguia, got some good results on his record already at 25. Looks a threat. A little bit of naughtiness outside the ring has cost him I think a title or two, but he's won belts. He's been a world champ, and he's taken on the 35-year-old veteran Rosado. And if ever there was a middleweight equivalent of, you know, Derek Chisora, we'll go with Derek Chisora, like a gatekeeper who will fight anyone, who has fought anyone. It's Gabe Rosado. His record is actually, is it 26 wins, 13 defeats, and a couple of draws or something like that. One draw. Munguia's undefeated in 37. Shows you how busy he's been. Excuse me. But a lot of people were writing off Gabe Rosado years ago, and I was probably one of them at some point, but he keeps going and he keeps coming back. And in his last fight, which was at super middleweight, he defeated Bektemir Melekuziev from Uzbekistan, who was someone they were trying to fast track to titles. I think he was 7-0 at the time, and he had Rosado hurt a few times in the opening 2 rounds. In the 3rd round, though, he went in for the kill and got chinned with virtually his one punch, basically, from Rosado. Probably the best win. That was probably the best win of Rosado's career. I can't think of another one offhand. Of the 13 defeats, a few have been by stoppage. He's had a world title shot against Golovkin and didn't do too badly. You know, he was always behind, but he gave Golovkin a good workout. He's always in wars. He's always getting cut. Blood flying everywhere. He did lose to very early on in his career. He lost in 2 rounds to Alfredo Angulo. That's probably the only time where he's really been flattened. The other stoppage defeats were cumulative things. You know, to Lemieux was one. That was a shootout. Was that a world title fight? I don't think it was. No, I don't think it was. He got stopped by Peter Quillen, Kid Chocolate, when when Quillen was flying. Stopped in 10 rounds. So even when he gets stopped, very often it's an accumulative effect. It's cuts and so on and so forth. He's a tough guy, Gabe Rosado. A real, genuine gatekeeper. And I mean that in the kindest way, the most respectful way. He'll take on anyone. Hence he's now going in with Jaime Munguia, the young gun, the hotshot, the one they're grooming for stardom. Munguia has looked the part at times. He has had his issues out of the ring, of course, but a couple of his results, Gary O'Sullivan, he stopped him in 11, which came off the back of a 1-round blowout for O'Sullivan from Lemieux, but nevertheless, you know, still stopped him. That's all right. Terriano Johnson stopped him in 6. I think that was a retirement. Who else has he fought? I don't think there's. I mean, he fought Dennis Hogan. I think that was a points win. But there aren't. I mean, there were some good names on it. Oh, Liam Smith, of course, as well. He beat Liam Smith on points. Smith was just a bit too small. But having said that, Munguia started off at super welterweight, and some accused him of being a bit of a weight bully. I don't really go with that, but he's probably settled into the middleweight division. And definitely middleweight is where Rosado belongs, because super middleweight, even though he won his last fight, he's not a super middleweight at all. I think early on in his career, he was a super welterweight as well. So I think this is an intriguing fight between the old and the new. But most importantly of all, I smell entertainment on the horizon. I think this is going to be a barn burner. I think probably Munguia will... It could be a late stoppage, but this might be last chance saloon for Rosado, so he might hang on and possibly lose on points. One fight I should mention about Rosado was when he fought Danny Jacobs, which was only a year or so ago, and he lost on points. And in my opinion, he won that fight. I thought that was one of Jacobs' poorest performances, and I thought Rosado deserved the nod. Didn't get it. I think they announced it. They mistakenly announced it. Oh, you know, the winner was Rosado. No, oh, hang on a minute. No, we got that wrong. Rosado was not amused, understandably so. But so he can take on really good fighters and make a splash. And if Munguia is not on his A game, I see Rosado giving him a lot of problems. Having said that, the style of Rosado, generally a come forward gunslinger type, would suit Munguia. What shall I go for? 2 sluggers. I go for Munguia to win the fight, probably a late stoppage, 9, 10 rounds, 8, 9, 10, that sort of time. Maybe sooner because Rosado has looked like he's got a bit of wear and tear on him in recent fights, even though he beat Jacobs. But I don't know. It's interesting. I can't really make my mind up with this one. What do you think? I think Munguia will win. I'm just not sure how he'll win. It's feasible Rosado could hang on till the end, but I don't know. Late stoppage. I'll go for Munguia to stop him late, to sort of chop him up, and again that accumulative thing will occur. You know, a Munguia win, and Rosado's performance will probably be good enough for him to get another fight as a gatekeeper. He'll always be recycled because he's exciting, because he's extremely tough, and he's just as game as hell. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about the fight. I think it's a really good one. Going to be exciting. Yeah, and meanwhile, you have a nice day. As always, take care of yourselves, and I'll speak to you soon. Much love.